everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Patchman Hockey Show. We're the Patchman. I'm Jimmy, and that's John. And on this show, we look at NHL patches and we teach you the hockey history behind the patch. Every patch has a story, and every week we're going to discover the hockey history behind the patch. So on this show, we're talking about the 2017-2018 inaugural Vegas Golden Knights patch. Right, John?
We are. So as you can see right here, awesome looking patch. You got the gray, the black, the gold.
Awesome.
Right, worn on the right side of their chest on the top.
Yep.
You have the new Vegas logo. Me and Jim were talking about this before. You have the V within the helmet. I think that's cool. I love when teams do stuff like that.
Very creative. You know what that reminds me of? The Hartford Whalers.
Yeah.
With the W and then the H was it was the negative space. Now the V is the negative space here, right? Inside of the
it is
inside of the rest of the shield. The shield for the Knights. Knights have shields, right?
They do.
So
shield. I'm wearing a AAA shirt. You know, WWE the shield.
That's right. Yeah.
It's funny when looking at logos like this. I always thought the Carolina Hurricanes logo had a C incorporated somewhere into it, but I don't think it does. I don't think it does either. I think it's just a picture of a hurricane.
But I tell you what, it took me a long time to realize that the first Columbus Blue Jackets logo is actually a CBJ inside of it.
I gotta check that out. Okay.
Yeah, well, I was like, wow, I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a second, that's a C, that's a B, and that's a J. Wow. And it's like the way that these designers do it, really, kudos to you guys, whoever's designing these logos.
Yeah.
Very smart, incredibly clever, like, awesome. And then you have the Golden Knight helmet, which is actually, half gold, half gray. And to be honest with you, full disclosure, when I first saw the Vegas Golden Knights logo, I actually thought that this quadrant of the helmet, I thought it was actually just sort of like a tealish green color.
Really?
Yeah, and
where did you get that from?
I don't know. Maybe I'm losing my vision. I'm losing it, but from a distance, I mean, look at that. Like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
I guess that.
I
mean, it's definitely gray.
Because when you really look at it, and when you're at home looking at these logos, it does stick out. So I can see where.
I don't know why. Maybe it was just my monitor. I don't know. But yeah, they also have the patch has the excuse me, it's our file names that we have showing it. Also has the gold ribbon inaugural, which by the way, it took me a while to learn how to say that word inaugural and to even spell it. And then the 2017-18 season, very clean, very elegant actually, the way that they laid it out. And they wore it on the right side of their jersey. Pretty cool. And I think you were also saying at some point that these jerseys remind you of the Vancouver Canucks.
They do.
Jerseys.
Yeah. So like I was wearing a Canucks jersey the first 2 episodes, or second and third episode, and it's pretty much a very similar color scheme, with the red, the black, the gold, or the yellow in that case.
Yeah.
No gray on those Canucks jerseys, but very similar color scheme. And what I love about these jerseys is with the scheme, the white gloves. They're real benders with these white gloves. If me or Jimmy wore white gloves to our club team or our, even open skate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but all together, really interesting season too for what a debut.
Unbelievable. The best record that season for an expansion team. I can't think of like an expansion team that was even that close. Maybe the Florida Panthers.
Florida?
Florida Panthers in 95-96 season.
Or the Avalanche that won the cup that year.
Yeah, but you know what? But
would you consider Avalanche like a brand new expansion team?
No, they're not expansion. They were relocated.
Exactly.
So they don't count. And Florida actually, what am I talking about? That was their third season in the league. So really, by far, actually, expansion first year, inaugural. There's that word again. Season, I think the Vegas Golden Knights had by far the best record.
Going back,
Atlanta, everybody
Columbus.
was trash. I mean, the Predators were trash. Columbus, Minnesota sucked.
It took the Lightning forever to get decent.
Yeah. Actually, the Panthers became better than quicker, I should say, than the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, during the 90s. But then Tampa went on to win 2 cups, and the Panthers, I think, only made the playoffs a couple times in the last 20 years. So, it's been a rough going for the Panthers. But yeah, really great jerseys. I mean, they really nailed it. At first, honestly, when I looked at their home jersey, I was like, well, they're the Golden Knights. Why aren't the jerseys golden like they have with their 3rd jersey now this season? For the 2020-21 season, they have a beautiful gold jersey. Yeah, great stuff. And then the secondary logo on the shoulders. All right, I think the red represents the sun.
I was wondering that.
The
desert,
desert,
I was wondering what the red.
the heat of the desert. It gets up to like 120 out there, maybe 130. I don't know. Then you have the feels like temperature. I love the meteorologist. The feels like
the wind chill.
Yeah. So you have like 3 different degrees. You have the temperature, the wind chill, and then the feels like degree, which, oh my God, I can't.
Don't even know.
But really cool. And then that patch, that secondary decorative patch, would become the primary logo on their, I guess you call it the heritage but retro reverse jerseys that they are wearing this season as well.
Yeah, those jerseys are something too. Like, I know you're trying to get Devils one.
Yep.
You just can't find it. Right.
Sold out, and I don't understand. Like, start making more. Like, I just don't.
It's like the PS5, or like you want a new Xbox.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Go on eBay. I saw a Ducks reverse retro for going for like $300.
I think
It's a great jersey. I would love to have it, but I'm not dropping $300.
Come on, it's a jersey. Come on. But anyway, so I mean, let's get into it. So they were the 31st team into the National Hockey League. And they played their games at the brand new state-of-the-art T-Mobile Arena, which actually we watched being built.
Yeah, it's plopped right in the middle of the strip. I think it's next to New York. We stayed at, what do we say?
The Monte Carlo.
The Monte Carlo. And
back in 2015, yeah.
2015, it was under construction. We were going to dinner, and right there.
Your bachelor party.
The new arena, my bachelor party.
Yep. Yeah.
So what a great spot to watch a game. To be in Vegas during the season, be like, all right, let's hit up a game.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, as we learned from the first season, every game was sellout, wasn't it?
Every game was a sellout. I mean, they really embraced hockey. And it's funny, when I found out the name, we would talk when we were in Vegas in 2015, and we looked out the windows of the Monte Carlo, and we're like, well, I wonder what the team name is going to be. Yeah. And obviously, there's 2 names that, like, I think should have been, I don't know. I could have seen them go High Rollers and the Gamblers. Las Vegas Gamblers. Gamblers, the High Rollers.
Yeah.
But the Vegas Golden Knights, I think it was interesting. I think it's a good name. I mean, I can't complain now. I mean, I really enjoy it. And then, the home games, I cannot wait to see a Vegas Golden Knights game in Vegas. I think the experience is like no other. It's a show. Right? It's a show.
It's production.
It's a big production.
The playoffs with the horns and the fire, it's something.
And you know what? Like, the best way to sell tickets and to gain a fan base is to win. And the Vegas Golden Knights did that their first season. I mean, right off the hop, the first 2 games they were away in Dallas and Arizona, and they won 2-1 in each game. And then they came back and they had their home opener.
Yeah.
Right?
So, unfortunately, about 9 days before the home opener, the whole Vegas thing happened. So as you know, the whole shooting in Vegas, just like a totally horrible situation.
Very tragic.
Outside Mandalay Bay, it was like a street festival or something.
Yeah, it was the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival, and close to 1,000 people were injured and 60 people died. 61, including the perpetrator himself. But like, who gives a fuck about that guy? Seriously.
Yeah. And what they did for it, they pledged to win on that home opener, which was huge.
Yeah, they really the cool thing about the Golden Knights is, like, they wanted to help the city heal. They pledged they were going to win the home opener, and it was like a bittersweet home opener. It's like they had this ceremony in which they honored the victims and the first responders, which was incredible. and that really fired them up. And they won the hockey game 5-2 again against the Arizona Coyotes. And it just goes to show you, like, they really wanted to, get the ball rolling with healing for the city. And
I mean, watching that game, how they started off so good, so fast. That whole unreal.
They really did it right, and I guess because it was probably about at that point probably like 17 years between expansion teams. So expansion was different back then versus what it is now. Excuse me, and they just had better players to pick from, and I think they were really smart. George McPhee, he was a GM, and he just did a great job. And they had 6 rotating alternate captains. They didn't have a captain. They had 6 alternate captains. And I'll just read the names: Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, Derek Anglin, James Neal, David Perron, Lucas Sabiza, I'm probably butchering that, and then Riley Smith. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. Like, it's a real communal thing.
It's interesting. Vegas. It really is.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that.
No.
Maybe co-captains or something like that, but to have rotating captains, I
6,
think it was
6
good, and clearly it worked out. You didn't hear anything that year about the team, like any team issues. But
no,
to the casual fan watching nights, all right, they have Fleury as their goalie, and other than that, I think he was the biggest name on that team that year.
Yeah, talk about somebody who won 3 cups, well established, one of the best goalies in the league, and they grab him. I mean, we talked about it. The Panthers grabbed John Van Beesbroek.
Yeah, look how that worked out.
But Van Beesbroek didn't win 3 cups at that time, though. So, yeah, pretty wild. I mean, and then you have a superstar in William Karlsson, who spent 3 seasons in the Columbus Blue Jackets organization. It's funny, like, a lot of names kind of just go through Columbus, and they don't really stick there that long, unfortunately. But, I mean, Karlsson had 43 goals that season. He led the team. He was just a brand new superstar in the making. And then Jonathan Marchessault, he comes over from Florida, Panthers again.
Yeah, what a stud.
And 30 goals he had with the Panthers the year before, and he pots 27 with the Golden Knights in their first season. So, awesome stuff. And a lot of these names, it's like they're not household names when you read the rest of the list. I mean, David Perron, he was a longtime St. Louis Blue. James Neal, an established Pittsburgh Penguin, sniper, great player. I mean, he put up 25 goals. Excuse me. And then Alex Touch, maybe I'm saying that wrong, but he was a big player in the playoffs for them. And it goes on, and they just grab key players. And then Ryan Reeves, I mean, what a character player for the Knights. This guy will drop the gloves, beat the shit out of you. And what a personality this guy has. If you heard him on the Spit and Checklist podcast, he's been on there, I think, a couple times. He's a really cool guy, and I just love how he went after Tom Wilson in the Stanley Cup Finals, and just what a rivalry, what a great player.
Yeah, it just says a lot about the ownership and the management just picking up the right players.
Yeah.
You don't need you can make a good team out of a bunch of decent players.
Absolutely, yeah.
How many times have we seen that?
And a lot of the fans, they'll gravitate. Sure, you have your top offensive players, you have your stud defensemen, but there's always that grinder player, that fighter on the team, the guy that brings the energy, that gets the team hyped up and the fans hyped up. That's Ryan Reeves. I mean, you got to have that on your team. I mean, I remember for the Devils, they had Cam Jansen for a while in the late 2000s or going to early 2010s, and he would just fire the crowd up. Was he an offensively skilled player? Not at all. But he went out there, he created a lot of energy for the team and for the fans, and everybody fed off that. So you need guys like that. And then, I mean, what can you say? I mean, the Knights would go on to win the division, the Pacific Division, excuse me. And then they would go on to win the Western Conference Championship. But they would finish their record with 51 wins.
That's insane.
51 wins.
Insane. I wish New Jersey could do that.
Yeah. 24 losses and 7 overtime losses.
In a pretty good Western Conference.
Yeah, I mean, in a Western Conference that has the Chicago Blackhawks, the LA Kings, I mean,
The Ducks.
the Ducks. I mean, it's just good. Just wow. Right out of the gate, the coach was Gerard Gallant, and you know they sold out every game. I mean, they were a hit right off the hop, which is great. I'm trying to think here. David Perron led them in assists. Carlson in goals and points with 43 and 78 respectively. And Fleury had 29 wins. Actually, that's an interesting stat with Fleury. He had 29 wins and Malcolm Subban, PK Subban's brother, had 13 wins. Yeah. And then actually, that's right. You know, now that I'm reading my notes, I forgot that they were going through a little bit of a goaltending carousel because Fleury got hurt. I think Subban actually got hurt, and then they had Legacy I'm thinking Manny Legacy for those who go back 20 years. Maxime Legacy and Oscar Dansk. I can't even say the name, but yeah, they had 6 and 3 respectively wins. So. Very, like I said, it was a communal effort, clearly, when you look at it. And then they would go on to the Western Conference Championship, and then they would go on to the Stanley Cup Finals with the Washington Capitals, and they would lose in 5 games.
Yeah. That was a really good Washington team.
That was a really good Washington team. That save in Game 5 that Braden Holtby had on Alex Tuck. Probably think it's Tuck actually. Open net, stick save. I mean, go YouTube that save. I mean, that was just like the Capitals solidifying, you know, their Stanley Cup championship in a way. But overall, you know, you can go deeper and deeper into the season, but as a whole and on the at a high level, they had a great. You can't write a better story for the Vegas Golden Knights with their first season.
Yeah. Storybook season. Great, season. You know, for an expansion team. Great season. Unreal. Great patch. Great.
And
you know, patch. How many years later? 2021. Still a good team.
Still a good
team. You know, there hasn't really been any issues team wise.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's there. If you want to put together an expansion team, model it after like the playbook of the Golden Knights.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the Seattle Kraken, who the league's 32nd team, they're probably going to follow the same model as the Vegas Golden Knights. I can't.
Oh, and think about it with the logo too, with the S and you know.
Oh yeah.
The play on the letters with the S with the Kraken being the serpent.
Yeah. Great logo. It really is a phenomenal logo. Yeah. I hate when teams have like a word mark. Like the Ducks had Ducks, or the Senators had Sens, or the Lightning had Bolts. And it's like,
I think that was like just
what a cop out
thing at the times.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that the Rangers do that, right? But the Rangers, I mean, that's a classic jersey coming from a Devils fan. That's a classic jersey. And then the Penguins had it. Actually, the Penguins have it with the retro reverse jerseys.
They do.
It says Pittsburgh on it diagonally. So, yeah, interesting stuff here. But yeah, like I said, Vegas Golden Knights, killer team. What a wagon that season. Still a wagon.
Yep. So
that's it. So
again, great. Thank you. Like Jimmy was going to say, subscribe. Thank you for checking out our podcast. We hope to put together
podcast YouTube.
We hope to put together a bunch of more of these.
Yeah, we got plenty more coming. I mean, we're just getting started here. So I hope you enjoyed a look at the 2017-18 inaugural Vegas Golden Knights patch and the season that they had. And stay tuned for more and hit the like button and subscribe.